Good evening, class. Today we are going to be looking at a screencast where the GT, gifted and talented students, will use this knowledge to take and make an activity going beyond what we just did in class. As a reminder, this is Miss Thompson, and we are going to be looking at the activity we did in class as for the ones who walk away from Amalas. So if you would like to pull up the short story, The Ones Who Walk Away from Amalas, that it will be up and you can read through it and everything. Make sure you have all the concepts ready, knowledgeable, so you can retain the information. Okay. So once you get that up, you can come back to the PowerPoint that I've created, and we're going to go over things that we did in class today. So in class today, we covered the concepts that make up a story. That's theme, plot, character, setting. You should know what theme is, but as a refresher, theme is the general idea or central topic of the text. It's what the story is about. Moral or friendships, love, equality, just the underlining tone or reasoning behind the story. Next, we covered plot, which is the events that make up a story. That could be like going to the fair, like what happens in the story. And then we covered character in class, which is what is represented in the story. It could be an animal, it could be a person, just a figure that's represented in the story. We also covered setting, and setting is where the story takes place. And remember, that can be time. It could be summer, fall, winter. It could be like 1994, 2000. It could be futuristic, 2050. That's also, it could be like where. It could be New York City, Canada, just where the story took place. And so remember, the theme for The Ones Who Walk Away from Amalas was utopia, like the moral dilemma that the townspeople faced when they found out about the one who suffers for the greater good of the town. Does one life not matter when it counts to the greater good? Does the greater good of all outweigh the greater good for one? Can you just look past that one suffering person? And the plot in Amalas are the events that happen. So that's the town fair, the townspeople meeting the child individually. And the character, of course, would be the townspeople and the child. Setting is Amalas. We could even say the state fair. And for today's activity, we are going to look at how the author influences a story. So one thing I want you guys to look at is, how did the author create her characters? Did she create her characters as mean people? Are they angry? Are they out to get revenge? Another thing I want you to think about is how she influenced the setting. Does she think that Amalas is the best place ever? Does she want Amalas to not exist? The way an author influences the story is how their ideas and beliefs contribute to the text. Because as an author, they put their views in their writing. And I want you guys to think about, or even for homework, I want you to jot down, we'll do that next, ideas of how she was able to influence the story. Okay, so I would like you to pause the video here and take a minute and write down how you think the author influenced the story. And next we're going to look at the author's point of view. Author point of view is another take on the influence. And the question I'm going to ask you guys to go and answer is, how do you think the author feels about the people of the town? Do you think that she agrees with the way the town is? Does she agree that this innocent child is a necessity to have? Suffering so that the whole town can be happy, a wonderful place? Go ahead and answer that, and then we will move on to talking about the last thing. So for your final project, you guys are writing a story. And when you're writing that, I want you to think about how the author is you, how you guys are influencing your work. And so for homework, I would like you to write down just a few questions and answers and that go along with your story. So the question is, how did your point of view influence your story? So after you've written your story, I want you to go above and think about how your point of view influenced your story. What did you bring into your story that reflects you and your ideas? And remember, your story is due soon, so I want you guys to work hard and be prepared. I know you guys will do great, and you guys have a good night. Thank you.